The San Francisco 49ers are making more moves than Michael Jackson this offseason, which is actually super uncharacteristic of him. But as a 49ers fan, I couldn't be happier, especially with the signing of Javon Hargrave, which definitely upgrades the interior line over Javon Kinlaw. But there's also been just a ton of underrated signings, including Jake Brindle, Colton McKivitz, and they just picked up the center from the New York Giants in John Valenciano, so maybe he competes with Jake Brindle, maybe not, but it's great that they have depth at that position now. The 49ers also picked up some guys from the Panthers, including Sam Darnold, who this video is about, but before we get to him, let's talk about the other couple players they picked up. They picked up Miles Hartsfield, and he's going to probably fit that Jimmy Ward type role. And there's also Isaiah Oliver, who's might play nickelback as well. So we'll just see how that plays out. Another name to watch in this nickelback competition is Sam Womack III. He was drafted last year, and if you remember, he started a couple games earlier in the season, in preseason, and that guy looks super solid. So I want to see what he develops into his second year. And if he can compete with the starting role with these guys, the 49ers defensive backs are set. Okay, but those are all topics for another time. This video is about Sam Darnold and why he's such a great signing for the 49ers, and he's honestly probably one of the most talented quarterbacks the 49ers could have gotten, maybe besides like a Lamar Jackson if they were able to trade for him. But on the free agent market, he's pretty good. And they signed a one-year deal worth $4.5 million, and he's guaranteed $3.5 million. So he's definitely going to be on the roster, as long as there's not something crazy that happens like Tom Brady comes out of retirement. So let's just jump into Sam Darnold's background, and then we'll go over his scouting profile, all that good stuff, so just stay tuned. Samuel Richard Darnold was born June 5th, 1997, making him currently 25 years old. He was born in Capistrano Beach in Dana Point, California. And he grew up kind of south of LA, and that small town he grew up in was called San Clemente. And Darnold's been a baller all of his life. He started playing basketball when he was only 5 years old. Sam Darnold's parents were both also athletic. His mom, Chris, was a former volleyball player at Long Beach City College, and his dad, Michael, played football at Redlands, California at the University of Redlands, and he played lineman. And this athletic prowess that we saw at age 5, and even from his parents, really highlighted itself at San Clemente High School. And after playing baseball his freshman year, he played football and basketball for the remainder years. And in high school, he really excelled at basketball, being named South Coast League MVP twice, along with being named All-CIF Team. And Sam Darnold also was extremely talented at football. He played wide receiver and linebacker, but after his sophomore year, he was a sole quarterback. And when he became the Scores quarterback, Darnold broke the school record for most touchdown passes in the game when he threw 5 in 2 occasions. But he missed most of his junior year with a foot injury. In his senior year, in San Clemente reached the CIF Southern Section Southwest Division Championship game. They lost, but it really was a strong showing throughout his senior year, throwing 3,000 passing yards, 39 touchdowns, and ran for a whopping 800 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns to go on top of that. And Rivals.com had him rated as a 4-star recruit and the 8th best dual threat quarterback in his class, and overall he was the 179th best player according to Rivals.com. And 24/7 Sports came up with a similar conclusion, rating him a 4-star recruit. And Darnold received offers from 10 different places, including USC, Colorado State, and Duke. Most experts predicted he would go to Duke, but he stayed in Southern California, going to USC. And at USC, Darnold went off, receiving a bunch of different awards, including the Archie Griffin Award, the Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year Award, and the First Team All Pac-12 Award in 2017. And at USC, Darnold played 27 games, started 24, his completion percentage was 64.9, his yards was 7,229, 57 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions. And this is really the number that stuck out for a lot of scouts, is that he kind of sometimes had the tendency to force the ball to try to make a play, and that led to some picks. But after 3 seasons of college football and 2 years starting, he decided it was time to enter the NFL draft. And on January 3rd, 2018, Darnold announced that he would be entering the draft. Some of his measurables during the combine: he was 6'3" and 3/8. He weighed 221 pounds. He had a 40-yard dash of 4.85 seconds, and his 10-yard split was 1.66 seconds. But Brock Purdy says, you know what? I'm faster than you still, even though being picked last. Brock Purdy ran his 40 in 4.84, and his 10-yard split was 1.55 seconds. And going into the draft, Sam Darnold was getting great comparisons. He was compared to Andrew Luck. They thought he had the NFL size, arm strength, accuracy, pocket mobility, and he was able to read the field extremely well. Or so they thought. And as we know, Darnold was selected 3rd overall by the New York Jets, where quarterbacks' careers usually end up down the drain. And I think it's interesting the San Francisco 49ers brought in Sam Darnold, a 3rd round pick, because Trey Lance is also a 3rd round pick. Maybe this is their way of increasing competition and also lighting a fire under Trey Lance. I mean, I doubt Trey Lance, no offense to Sam Darnold, wants to end up in the same situation Sam Darnold is right now. But Sam Darnold's career just really never took off the way you would hope. His overall record as a quarterback was 21-34 up to this point. He's thrown for 11,767 yards. His completion percentage was 59.7. And he started playing for the Carolina Panthers in 2021. And Steve Wilks is a coordinator with the 49ers now, which I imagine he was instrumental in helping sign Sam Darnold. And this is the thing. Last year, he had probably one of his better seasons, starting 6 games and going 4-2. He threw for 1,143 yards, but this is the most important thing. He threw 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He also had the best rating of his career at 92.6. Sam Darnold's main issue in the NFL has been turning the ball over. In his first year, he threw 15 interceptions. In 2019, he threw 13, but it's kind of been going downhill. And like I mentioned, last year, he only threw 3. And there's a couple of reasons why I can think about this. On the New York Jets, he was selected with the 3rd overall pick, so maybe he had some pressure to make plays and try to force the ball a little bit too much. And on the Carolina Panthers, he really wasn't in that much better of a situation. He was on a team that really was lackluster for talent. I mean, besides Christian McCaffrey, until the 49ers stole him too. Another issue was early in his career, he was hit a ton. And that leads quarterbacks to start seeing ghosts and just kind of not trust their pocket. And that leads to interceptions, bad decisions, leaving the pocket too early. Just it all accumulates into a bad thing. But under Kyle Shanahan, I think he might actually kind of return to some of that former glory he had earlier in his life. I think Kyle Shanahan will be able to get the most out of him, help him settle into this offense, and just really understand what his role is. And now that he has an opportunity to start again, and for a solid team, I really want to see what he could do. But let's not write off Trey Lance either, because the first thing Sam Darnold needs to do is overthrow Trey Lance to get any playing time. And still then, when Brock Purdy comes back, we all know Brock is the man and he's going to take whatever job he wants. But that's just my thought. And now since I gave you my thought and who I think should start, which is Brock Purdy, as soon as he's healthy enough to be a contributing factor and has the same arm strength as previously, I think he should be the starter. He proved last year he can put up 30 points a game about, and I don't know what other quarterback is going to be able to match it as consistently as he did. He also was able to read the field extremely efficiently, And he hasn't really had any of those glaring weaknesses that we've seen in Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. But now, since I just gave you all my thoughts, I really want to hear what you guys think down below in the comments section about how this offseason is going, really anything that's on your mind. I really appreciate you guys watching and making it this far. After you did make it this far, I know you liked this video, so please subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff. Thank you guys so much.